get down with the sickness. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Jibber Jabbin'. I'm Travis.
I'm Jen.
I'm Sophie.
And today, we're going to talk about sickness.
Illness.
I literally
Death.
just got over, really bad
Food poisoning.
I had for 2 days, but I was fine during the day, but when I tried to lay down to go to sleep, I couldn't. I got this searing pain in my gut, so I literally stayed up 2 nights in a row, and couldn't lay down. But the crazy thing of it was, I was at the end of it, I was seeing shit out of the corner of my eyes and stuff.
Oh, because you hadn't slept.
Yeah. And so yesterday morning, I cleaned the apartment, I cleaned the kitchen and stuff, and then I took out recycle and everything, and I had a solid 6 hours to myself, silent 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I was outside doing recycle, and I was separating everything, and the super of our building fucking snuck up behind me and was like, "Hey." Ah!
Jesus.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me. And he's like, you can do that differently, and he showed me a way to keep the bin lids open and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you guys ever faked being sick for something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I used to fake being sick to get out of school, of course.
Yeah. I didn't fake it. I wasn't actually sick though. I think it was psychosomatic.
Yeah.
When I was 10, I think, maybe a bit older. But I would just have these weird feelings that my mom was gonna die in a car accident or something. Mm-hmm. So I would get the school to call her at work and come pick me up from school, because I would get a really bad feeling in my stomach.
Yeah.
So I think it was just anxiety.
Oh shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
But it lasted a really long time. It lasted a month. And my mom was like, "You have to stop doing this." And I was like, "But I'm sick."
Yeah. So I actually, when I was a little kid, I had this thing. I don't know why or how it was happening to me, but my doctor called them ghost pains. So I'd get really bad abdominal pains out of nowhere. It was probably an anxiety thing too.
Yeah.
Thinking of it now, but so many times they were like, "I don't know if your appendix is burst. I don't think it has." They do an ultrasound and they'd be like, "No, it's fine," and they couldn't figure out what it was, but I was it's super bad pain.
Yeah.
But I remember also I had this teacher that I really didn't like, and she was mean to me. Me thinking that she was mean to me. She was probably just some stern old lady, but I thought she was mean to me, and I dreaded going to class in the 3rd grade or whatever. So I think it's probably more anxiety. But
yeah, you're probably just my stomach, if I can have pain, I can get out of this.
Yeah.
So I don't have to deal with this teacher.
I feel really bad about it though, because my mom would not know what to do, and she'd take me to the hospital every time, and
oh no,
they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And then I remember her crying because she couldn't figure out what was going on with me, and I also remember faking those ghost pains a couple times too. I'm sick today. Let me stay home and eat granola bars and watch cartoons. Okay, I got a question. Well, Sophie, did you ever fake sick?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't usually fake sick to stay home from school because I really liked going to school. So almost never did
Nerd.
that.
I love school.
But I definitely fake sick, so I didn't have to go into work. For many a job, and some of the times would have been when I was just hungover.
Yeah.
Or just didn't
Well,
get
that
enough
doesn't
sleep.
count. I mean, you're sick when you're hungover, but I mean...
But it's a sickness you did to yourself.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Sort of like if you licked raw chicken and then you were sick. You think about it,
Is that
right?
something that you've done?
No, I've not done that.
Have you guys seen that TikTok where they're all drunk and the kid picked not
Yeah,
kid,
and
just,
they're
a
no!
college student? Yeah, and he takes a huge bite out of raw chicken breast.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I've called in sick for work, not my current job, but when I worked at the Ambassador, you needed a doctor's note to call in sick,
That's dumb.
Yeah.
which is really stupid.
You don't need that now.
Yeah, so when I was actually sick, like I had strep throat, and they were like, we're going to need a doctor's note. And I was like, I'm poor as fuck, and I'm going to have to pay for that doctor's note.
Yeah, they're like $20 or something.
Yeah, so I'm just going to come into work with strep. But then sometimes I would be hungover and not come to work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care.
I've called in sick too. Like, yeah, quite a few times. But usually it was like when I worked at like Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
I haven't called in sick in like one of my like adult jobs.
Yeah, I don't call in sick to work very often at the job I currently work at. Like, even if I'm actually like really sick, I always feel bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh no, because I get paid if I don't come into work regardless.
Yeah.
So I just feel bad. And 2 years ago, I had strep, and it got misdiagnosed. I went to like a walk-in clinic, and they were like, "You're fine. Just like take some Benylin and like rest."
Yeah.
And then it got worse, and I got like cold sweats, and I was like seeing things because I hadn't been sleeping.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, I went to urgent care at Hotel Dieu, and they were like, "Yeah, this is strep, and you need antibiotics." And I was like, I know that it's strep. Like, there was white pockets in the back of my throat and everything.
Actually, you know what? I went home sick a couple times from my job. One time was because I thought I had an anxiety attack, and it felt like a heart attack. I got like tight chest, and it really hurt.
Wasn't
like,
that recent?
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Semi-recently, because I probably told you about it. But yeah, I had to go to the hospital, and the person who was giving me the anxiety drove me to the hospital. Yeah.
Wow.
And pretended like she gave a shit, right? And then the last time I went home sick was because I was sick at work when COVID had just started before they shut everything down.
Right.
But I was starting to get really sick with some sort of like head cold, and they sent me home. It was like midday, and then that was the last time I was there.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
So speaking of COVID, I actually had to get tested for COVID.
Shit.
Gross.
I know, it was
Did they
gross.
shove that thing down your nose?
They do it in your nose, like
Yeah,
right up here.
well, I'll tell you. So my boyfriend's stepmom went to that nail salon, and we had to go get tested because she went there. But then we found out like 2 days later that we weren't supposed to go get tested. But the messaging when it all happened was not clear at all.
Yeah.
It was like, if you or a contact have, go get tested.
Yeah.
So we went and got tested.
So for context, there was a nail salon in our town who was like accepting appointments from people from out of town, and then a bus full of people came from.
No, that's not true.
Is it?
The bus isn't true.
The bus isn't true.
No.
Okay, well they were accepting appointments. So it's not true that it came from out of town?
There's no evidence of any of that.
Okay.
There's maybe some evidence that they were accepting clients before they were allowed to legally reopen.
Oh.
But I don't even know how that bus rumor started. But our like,
I hear that everywhere.
So I saw it a lot, but I know that the police and like KFLNA Public Health came out and said that there's no evidence that it was a bus. But I think probably what more likely happened is that one of the workers, because none of them are from here, they're from like Toronto, is that they probably went to Toronto and visited some friends and then came back. And
well, to be fair, like people from people from Toronto are coming here because we're open and they're not. And like literally the other day, we were at the Breakwater Park. Like it's like our pier where people go swimming and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a huge crowd of dudes there, and they're like, "We love your city," and blah blah blah. We're from Toronto.
Oh yeah,
and
you're
trying to like brag
this.
up that they're from Toronto. It's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be staying like in your area?
Well, there's no like travel ban to move between cities. But the guys that you specifically dealt with were douchebags because they were going to leave all their garbage.
They had a huge mess. They were throwing their like beer bottles and stuff in the water, and like I went in the water and got them. And
one of our friends like confronted them.
Yeah, she walked up to them, and they were packing up. These guys were packing up to leave, and all their empties and shit were like strewed everywhere. Like
Which is horseshit. There's literally a garbage can on the pier.
There was a garbage can right next to one of the guys, like where he was sitting.
That's just pathetic.
And so she went over to them. She's like, hey, you guys are going to clean all this up, right? And then one guy was drunk and he's like, we play for the Frontenacs, the Kingston Frontenacs, which is our hockey team.
Which is not a brag, in my opinion.
No, and he's like, we pay more. He's like, we pay more taxes than you'll ever see, and blah blah blah. And that didn't.
You absolutely
really
do not.
sense.
If you do not own property in this city, you are not paying taxes to this city. That is how that works.
And then
fuck off.
And then she goes, "Why? Like that literally has nothing to do with what I'm asking you."
With being
here.
a garbage piece of shit.
With putting your garbage in the garbage.
Good for her.
And then she's like, wait, so you play for the Frontenacs? And he goes, no, he does. And he points to his friend.
But a friend of a friend does.
I didn't make the cut.
She's like, okay, well, can I get your name? So
so that we can blast you.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you play for the Frontenacs? Word, you couldn't make it into the NHL, eh?
Yeah. and you could tell the guy who played for the Frontenacs, he was like, oh no, we're cleaning it, don't worry.
Yeah, he's
sorry.
like, shh.
Yeah, like, shut up.
No, shut the fuck up.
And then the drunk dude took off and.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they cleaned up after themselves.
So going back to COVID, this nail salon is like the patient zero of a recent outbreak in Kingston. My partner's stepmom went and got her nails done. And you know what? You can say whatever you want about people like taking those risks, but if the government says it's okay to open, people are going to go.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it works.
Yep.
So I'm not going to hold that against somebody. Like, it's a little bit different if you walk in and you see, like, maybe it's not up to best practice, what's going on inside of the business. And, yeah, maybe don't give them your business. But, like, from what I understand, like, it wasn't so much people weren't, like, socially distancing. It was that the people that were working there were sick. Mm-hmm. And they were coming to work. Yeah. And they weren't, like, properly sanitizing things after you left. Which, like, you as a customer necessarily, you can't see that they're not doing that because you're leaving. Yeah. Anyway, so we had to go get tested, and I had to wait in line for 7 hours in the sun to get tested. Anyway, but you get in. It's not that bad if anybody needs to get tested. It's not the nightmare that people maybe want to make you think it is. They have this really long Q-tip. And they hold the back of your head so that you don't flinch, which is nice. But they like kind of twist it, like they work it into your nose. Okay. And then it really feels like you're picking your nose for a little bit, so it feels kind of nice. Like if you don't pick your nose, you're a fucking liar. Anyway. For sure. There's two kind of people in this world: people that pick their nose and people that lie about it. So, anyway, so it like works its way up to your nose, and then there's like this. There's a point where it doesn't feel nice anymore. Yeah. Where it's like, it feels wrong. Yeah. And it just feels like they're like, well, it feels like you're going, you're like, oh, this is nice. No, you've gone too far. But it just feels like you've taken a bunch of water up your nose when you go swimming. Yeah. But for 20 seconds.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I like held my breath and I didn't realize I was doing it. Like, he put it up my nose and he's holding my head and I'm just like my eyes are closed. I'm holding my breath for some reason. And he's like, you're doing good. You're almost done. Remember to breathe. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I stopped breathing again. And he was like, okay, when the alarm goes off, you've got 5 more seconds. And the alarm goes off. I'm like, 1, 2, like it doesn't hurt. It's just like super uncomfortable. Yeah. And like, it feels very bizarre. But once it's over, it's over. Like, he pulls it out, and it's, like, instant relief when they pull it out. Yeah. But not that bad.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that sort of, like, experience, I used to have really bad stomach issues. I had, like, really bad GERD. And I'd have to go to, like, Hamilton, which is, like, 5 hours away from us.
And it's GERD City.
And it's not bad.
It's not that bad. Yeah. Because you hate Hamilton more than anyone.
Yeah, but we're on a podcast and I'm not going to say that in case we have listeners in Hamilton.
Well, we don't want them.
So leave it in.
so I'd have to go up to Hamilton, and they'd put this like monitor in. So the way they put the monitor into my stomach was they fed it through my nose and down my throat and into my stomach. Mm-hmm. And then it went from my nose to this thing that I would attach to my belt, basically. Oh, Jesus. And I'd have to have that for 24 hours.
What did that feel like?
It felt like, you know when you get like a loogie in the back of your throat?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it being like hard.
But can't.
And you have it for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and you have to eat like you normally would. You have to drink like you normally would, and just go about your day like normal with this thing just hanging out of your face.
He's got pictures of it.
I do have pictures of it.
He thought it was so cool to take selfies of it.
Yeah, I took like look at me and poor me.
Yikes.
Oh, so it is on Travis's Instagram.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to go check that out.
So yeah, I had to have that done a couple times.
Hashtag tube life, it says.
Yeah, tube life. But yeah, that really sucks. And yeah, you totally like, it's so uncomfortable because why is it up my nose? I guess they couldn't really feed it in through my nose.
Man, you look so different. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to be so handsome.
Not anymore.
You also posted this picture of your broken bone, which nobody can see. Where it's broken.
You can see that.
I can't see that.
You can see the little chip coming off.
Yeah, well, I'm not a radiographer or whatever.
Show Jen. She'll see it. Anyway,
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So eventually, though, I got surgery to stop all my really bad stomach issues. But now I'll hiccup. I don't know. I don't know if I've done it on the podcast very much. But I'll hiccup all day, every day, pretty much, just like here and there. And I can't. So with the food poisoning I had the other day, that's this shirt. Look at this shirt.
I know.
Yeah, with the food poisoning the other day, I wasn't able to vomit, which would have really helped, I feel like. But instead, it just it just really hurt my stomach. Because of that surgery, it's so tight in there. I used to not even be able to like for the first 4 weeks after the surgery, I couldn't swallow solid food. It would just get stuck. And
we were at the brew pub.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I got mac and cheese.
Travis's eyes were bigger than his stomach.
Yeah. But I had 3 bites of food and I couldn't eat anymore.
Yeah, and you looked like you were in pain the entire time.
It was sitting in here. It was just not in my stomach. And
you had to blend it.
And you could barely breathe. I chewed it for so long too. I thought it's mac and cheese. It's really soft and I'll just chew it a bunch. But no. Didn't work. Yeah.
Have you ever had surgery, Sophie?
I have only ever gotten my wisdom teeth out surgery.
Oh, that's a good story. Let's hear your wisdom teeth story, and then I'll tell you mine.
It's the worst. It was pretty bad. I mean, the whole going under and stuff is fine. And I like how when other people wake up from going under, I don't have this effect. You know, where people get really goofy and say weird shit and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And I'll go to get my phone. I'm like, I'm just gonna text Travis and say I'm out of surgery. They're like, no, honey, no. I'm gonna do something crazy. And I'm like, do I look like I'm being crazy like these 2 people over there who are like, da, 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 da. They don't even know each other.
Yeah. Well, I was the latter. I was the crazy.
Yeah. I think it's because my mom has said this when she has to go in and get the test they do to make sure you don't have colon cancer. Yeah. And they knock you out for that. They have to use 6 times as much as they use on a normal person.
For your mom?
Yeah, and so they asked her.
But she's so small.
I know. Are you a drug?
Yeah.
She's no. So apparently it's something with gingers. People have red hair and fair skin, and so she's sort of half ginger, so maybe I'm a little bit ginger.
Maybe.
So I don't get crazy. But yeah, anyway, so then, and I was fine. I didn't even get the poofy cheeks or anything like that.
I didn't either. Yeah. Mine just bruised. I had yellow, jaw.
No, I didn't have any of that, but it was really painful for 2 or 3 weeks. It was just agony because I wouldn't really take the pills I was supposed to, the pain medication. I was like, I don't need it. I don't want to get addicted to codeine.
Just sell them to your friends.
Right. So I ended up having the entire bottle left because I just wouldn't take them. And I drank so much Ensure. Because I couldn't, like, eat regular food.
Yeah. So I got mine taken out when I was in grade 10, I think. And, like, the surgery was fine. I went under fine. But when I came out of it, I was, like, really dopey.
Yeah.
And, like, my mom was there with me. So she was, like, leading me around. And there was, like, some weird bench, like a boot bench, kind of, like a waiting area. And I guess I just, like, sat down on the bench. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm going to stay here. And she's like, no, we have to leave. And I just, like, kind of looked like I was going to curl up. Maybe, and go to sleep. And she was like, you can't sleep here. You're not allowed to go to sleep at all.
Yeah.
And I started, like, flipping out. I was like, I just want to go to sleep. And she was like, oh my God. So then we went and had to pick up my medication from a pharmacy not too far away.
Yeah.
And she was like, are you going to be okay in the car if I just run inside again? And I guess I flipped out again. I was like, you're just going to leave me here? I can't believe you would do that to me. And she was like, oh my fucking God. So she didn't bring me into the store with her. She just, like, went and grabbed it. And when I got home, I was still really loopy, but I was hungry. So she gave me some ice cream. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting on the couch and I'm just enjoying my ice cream. And then she came over and she looked at me and she's like, sweetie, so none of that's going in your mouth.
Oh, just like,
it was literally just like all down the front of me. And then I guess I cried again. I was like, oh my God.
I want something to eat. Yeah, because they make you also not eat for like 12 hours beforehand or something, right? Like
yeah.
in the night you have to stop.
Yeah, I was really hungry.
I'm just so hungry.
Yeah. And then, like, by the next day I ate a hot dog. I know that much.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had my wisdom teeth out. I only had to do the bottom ones. I remember looking like a chipmunk. But, yeah, mine wasn't so bad. Like,
you said you were macking with girls.
Yeah, I got
like
really swelled up. But then, yeah, like that weekend, I was taking a trip to go to my girlfriend's house at the time. And, yeah, we were, like, making out and stuff.
You know
But then
what?
I ripped my stitches while we were making out, and we had to stop because I was bleeding.
Ew. That's disgusting. I actually went to a school dance the second day. I remember that.
Yeah, nice.
I missed that, bro.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to miss the dance. I don't even remember what time of year it
Not
was.
the semi-formal.
Oh, God.
I went to one semi-formal, and that was enough.
So did you guys ever know anybody that, like, faked, like, an illness? Did that ever happen to any of you? Like, you knew someone that, like... So here's my example.
We talked about this on another podcast.
Did we?
Yeah. If it's the one that I think it is, go ahead, sorry.
No, I knew someone in grade 9 that, like, said she had cancer.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Did we talk about this? Okay.
Oh, was that in the Lying podcast?
It was, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm the first.
She's a big fucking faker.
And then we talked about how I faked something similar, and then I, like...
And you actually got
and
cancer?
then I got cancer.
Oh, jeez.
And...
That's what happens.
Yeah.
I don't think she has cancer. But...
I found it. So, yes, I had cancer when I was, like, 19, and I didn't, like, when I got it, like, when I found out I had it, I was literally about to walk into surgery to have it, like, the tumor taken out.
Mm-hmm.
So everything hit me, like, all at once, and he told me the name of it, and I couldn't find the name of it for the longest time, and I found it. So I found the name of the type of cancer I had, and it's called umbilical metastasis.
Metastasis?
Metastasis. Oh, I think. Yeah, that's what it was. Because he basically explained this whole thing. It's umbilical I found a thing about it online. It's a rare manifestation of intra-abdominal cancer. Appears either the first sign
of a primary malignancy or as a metastatic site of an already diagnosed cancer, representing an ominous prognostic finding. We report 3 cases of this as first sign of underlying malignancy. Okay.
Yeah. So basically it was in my umbilical cord, like it didn't ever, like, disintegrate internally, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Because it usually does, right? On the inside of your belly button, there's still there was that tube that fed you, right, as a baby?
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, it doesn't always, like dissolved like it's supposed to, and there was like a cancerous growth in there for me, and I was chucking wood for my mom. I know I told this before, but I was chucking wood for my mom, and it got irritated and infected, and my belly button opened up, and that's like the doctor. I don't think
I knew that.
Yeah, it opened.
That's fucked.
And the doctor put his whole finger to bottom knuckle into
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. To feel around to see what the fuck was going on in there.
What's going on in here? He's
and
like feeling around.
He thought like there was an infection, so it was really swollen, and maybe there was a cyst in there. So the longest time we thought it was a cyst. And he's like, well, we'll take care of that. Like, I took antibiotics and the infection went away. And he's like, we'll just go in there and take that little bit that was supposed to not even be in there anymore, take that away.
Yeah.
And then when I was going for surgery, I got prepped for surgery. I was in my gown. I had when I had hair, I had the hairnet on.
Yeah.
And I was 5 minutes away from surgery, in this weird room. And he came in and he was like, so
bad news.
Bad news bears here. Yeah. But don't worry. We're going to take it out. And then he gave me an option of, we can try to save your outer belly button so you still have a belly button. But if we do that, there's a chance that it could regrow because it's so close, the tumor. And so I was just like, fuck, do what you got to do.
Yeah,
so now
you don't need a belly button.
Yes. So now I don't have a belly button. I just got this huge ass scar that goes from where the top of my belly button would be to the top of my pube region.
Pubic mound.
Yeah. So sorry. So that's my.
That's
my
wild.
story.
I had no idea that it opened up.
Yeah, it opened.
You could did you? Okay, so did you ever stick your finger in there?
I got to this deep and it hurt so bad. I got to middle knuckle on your finger. That's how deep I got my finger.
Oh man.
Disgusting.
Yikes!
Yeah, and it was draining something too. So it was bad. So my belly button was just constantly leaking.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. I would be
really gross.
Take it away. Take the whole belly button away.
I don't want it.
Well, and that's part of how I found it out too, because I had really bad pain, and then my shirt was wet, and I was like, why is my shirt wet there?
Oh my god.
And then I lifted my shirt, and there's this pink ooze.
Why does it smell so bad?
Oh man, it smelled like death.
That's so disgusting.
So you're basically rotting from the inside.
Yeah, I was. So yeah, that's my tumor story.
Holy
That's
fuck.
pretty bad, I guess. But have you ever been sick on Christmas?
Yeah, you were sick on Christmas. Wasn't I?
I've been sick on my birthday before.
I'm pretty sure I was sick just before Christmas, and your parents took me to the hospital.
No, it wasn't on Christmas.
It was around Christmas.
No, it was exam time in April.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I remember because I had to go to the hospital with you while I was studying.
And you were pissed at me. I was dying sick. I tried to. It had to have been strep or something too.
Yeah.
But I tried to just get past it on my own.
Yep.
And it didn't fucking work.
No.
And I was delirious with fever. Yep. And Sophie's mad at me because I'm sick. And we had to go to the hospital.
They put me in straight up fucking quarantine when I had strep throat that time, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because, one of the first things they asked me, have you traveled recently? I was like, well, yeah, I just got back from the Netherlands. And they were just like, Dah! And they're like, throw this mask on, get in that room right there. And I was like, I was coming back from the Netherlands. Not fucking...
China.
I don't know, China or India or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, have you ever been, have you ever had, Norwalk?
Yeah, that's what I got at Christmas.
Oh, really?
So what
or norovirus?
I think so. I mean, that's the one where you
were shitting your brains out
at the same time,
and you can't control it. Yeah.
I think I've had that as a kid, but
I've had it 3 times as an adult, and it's horrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, fucking Hank had it when we were playing basketball, and I was like, "Don't come to basketball." And I was like, "You're contagious for 3 days after you've had your symptoms."
Oh, no.
And he was like, well, then don't come. And I was like, no, you don't come. And he came anyway. And Sophie was like, don't worry, bro, I brought hand sanitizer. And after every time her and I got off the court, we were just like...
Did you get it from Hank?
Not that time.
No.
And that was just before the ski trip, so I was like, I
Yeah,
really,
it was,
really don't
too.
want to be sick.
Yeah, I know, like, I got, the very first time that I remember getting it, I was like, I think I might have been 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And what happened was my grandmother died, and we were all at the wake, and my idiot cousin brought his sick children to the wake, and they had norovirus, and they gave it to all of the grandchildren.
That
all
sucks.
of them. So my poor parents, and like all of us, so it was like me, my 2 brothers, 3 of my cousins that live in Kingston, and the 3 other ones that came from out of town. So it's 9 people under one roof that have norovirus. We only had 2 bathrooms, and my parents said, because none of us could go to the funeral the next day because we were shitting our brains out and barfing our guts out.
Yeah.
My poor parents came home and they said it smelled like a toilet and vomit in the house. It was just everywhere. And like people are like using the bathroom and you're like, fucking let me in, like I'm gonna shit my pants, like stuff like that. Yeah, it was horrible.
So I remember a time when we were kids, my brother went to stay at my cousin's house, and I wasn't allowed to go there anymore, but that's another story. And him and my cousin, we're not like actual cousins, like my mom's ex-husband's sister's children, right?
Sure.
So, and
Mouthful,
they're not together anymore or anything either. And but so my brother and my cousin both had it, and my brother was sleeping on the couch, and my cousin was sleeping on the floor. And I guess my brother woke up, like urgently needed to vomit and shit, and he did so, but he puked off the side of the couch onto my cousin and shit his pants at the same time. And then my cousin started vomiting and then shit his pants.
Oh my god.
It's just big, shitty, pukey mess.
That's so disgusting. I just like, there's something about like puking. It's like the first time you do it, you're like, no, please God, like I don't want to fucking puke.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're like, whatever.
You're like,
but then
good.
eventually you're like, please God, like no more puke.
Yeah.
But the second to last time, or maybe that was just the last time I had it. Yeah, I don't remember. Well, I had it at my ex-boyfriend's house. So I went up to a friend of mine's sister's house in Perth because she was getting married and we were all going to go to Ottawa the next day to get fitted for bridesmaids' dresses. And one of the sisters had norovirus. We thought that she was just all fucked up. Like, we thought that she was really drunk.
Yeah.
Because she had like 2 martinis and then she projectile vomited all over the floor. And I was like, man, she's a lightweight. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. What a bitch.
And then the next day, like, I went back and I was with my ex and we went and got sushi and we went to the Lumina Borealis or whatever that was called.
Maybe that's what made you sick.
Yeah, it was horrible.
We never went
Look
to
at how
that.
expensive it was.
Well, he paid for it, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
But then at like 5 a.m, my stomach was like, I felt like garbage. I was like, something's coming. I was like, and it's not going to be good. And I just bolted to the bathroom and just like projectile vomited sushi like everywhere.
Yeah.
And like shit a lot, obviously. And like he wasn't really paying attention. Like he obviously didn't hear me go to the bathroom. He just heard me like barf. And I came back to bed. And then I was like back and forth after that. But I came back to bed and he was like, did you just puke? And I was like, yeah, I'm like really sick. And he was like, you don't think you're pregnant, do you? And I was like, I am fucking sick. Like, I am sick.
And what an asshole,
What a
too.
doorknob.
Yeah.
Are you pregnant?
You're not pregnant, are you?
And I was like, no, but I am shitting my pants and barfing my guts out. Like, I straight up, like, this is so gross. I, like, went to the bathroom and, like, this is just life, kids, okay? So if you have norovirus and you think you're gonna puke, do yourself a favor, get a bucket and sit on the toilet with your butt on the toilet and puke.
Yeah.
Because if
you're heaving, like...
you're gonna lose control of your ass, basically, is what I'm getting at. And I did at his house, and I had to like get in the shower and like put my clothes in I never told him. But he was just like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm in the shower. What the fuck do you think is happening in here? Like, it's not going well. Like, And it took everything in me to shower because it's like hot. Like the shower's hot, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, like I'm gonna fucking die in here. But yeah, I do like, so that's when everybody, like, my cousin, Hank, whom I work with, used to get norovirus a lot because he was living with his niece who goes to school and brings the germs home.
Children, yeah.
So, like, it seemed like 2 or 3 times a year, he'd be like, oh man, I think I had Norwalk over the weekend. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I'm not getting that shit, like, as an adult.
No.
That's crazy.
So
It's
much
crazy
worse.
the amount you're sick as a child versus when you're an adult.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But I feel like it's worse as an adult.
It is, because
Yeah.
you're just, like, you have, like, responsibilities and
Yeah.
stuff, and you're just like, well, fuck.
Even like
And no one takes care of
the
you.
pain of it and
No.
everything too is worse as an adult. I remember being a kid and just like doing my thing, playing and shit, turning around, going bleh, and then turning back around and then continue playing. Like I got stinky breath.
Like, the worst
done.
part about that particular instance of norovirus was that I couldn't eat sushi for, like, 3 years after
Yeah.
that.
That's really bad.
I know.
Yeah, that's-
I was like, I remember we went out for someone's birthday, and we went for sushi, and I was like, it had been like a few months, and I was like, I don't know. And then I ordered something small, and it came out, and I just took one look at it, and I was like, I'm gonna barf.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this, but now I can eat it, which is
That
nice.
happened to me.
Conditioned food aversion.
That actually happened to me, believe it or not, with hot dogs for like 3
Hot
years.
dog.
Oh
Like,
no.
I love hot dogs.
Who doesn't,
now.
you know?
But when I was a kid, I had a hot dog that had like maggots in it. And it
Oh
made me
my
puke.
god!
And
Not
then-
surprising.
Yeah, and then I couldn't eat a hot dog for like 3 years,
Oh, that's okay.
and now I love hot dogs again.
So, not maggots, but that kind of happened to me with cucumbers. I had, like, sliced them up for my lunch, and I didn't take them that day for some reason. And then I was like, I'll just take them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I took them the next day, and I, like, went to grab them, and they had already, like, turned
Slime.
into some sort of slimy mucus. And I was like,
Wow.
ugh! Like, and I couldn't eat cucumbers for a couple of months. I
That's
was like,
really
that's
gross.
fucking disgusting.
I hate when vegetables raw like that.
I know,
so
it's
bad.
it's really gross. That actually happened to me the other day. I was telling Sophie, I've been bringing cherries to work a lot lately because they're in
Yeah.
season, and I don't really pay attention. I'm like reading my book on my lunch break and just like popping cherries,
Popping cherries,
popping cherries into my mouth. And I just like wasn't paying attention, and I put one in my mouth. I didn't bite into it, but I like felt with my tongue that something wasn't
The
right.
fuzz?
Yeah, anyway, it was rotten.
Bitter.
It was like white and rotten, and I was like, ugh. I had to like turn it away from me so that I could eat the rest of the cherries.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah. Me?
yeah. You got any food related?
Have you ever had like food poisoning?
Oh yeah. Around
Oh, yeah.
exams, I made a chicken, and I was kind of just like eating crackers and making chicken at the same time, like a roast chicken. And then I got sick like 8 hours later.
Oh
And I
no.
was,
She was
sick
touching
all
raw
through
chicken.
exams. So that sucked. Yeah. Well, I'm a little more careful about that stuff.
You
now.
fucking are not. You liar.
Well, I haven't been sick like that yet.
Yeah, but you're not
again.
more careful. You're just lucky.
Sure, I am. I'm a little more careful.
No, I don't think so.
Sure I am.
I'm totally more careful.
Oh.
I got food poisoning when I was in China, and guess where I got it from?
Street
Street
meat.
food.
No. Take another guess.
McDonald's.
Yes.
Wow.
It was McDonald's. I was so mad. My friend Neil and I think we had smoked some weed, and I don't know, he like loved pistachios, so he would always buy pistachios. And I was like, there's a McDonald's like near his apartment, and I was like, bro, let's go to McDonald's. I'll get McDonald's. You can get your fucking pistachios, and we'll go back up and whatever and finish watching. What was that movie? Oh, it was so Behind the Candelabra or something like that. It was like a movie about
Like about vampires?
the musician, the piano guy,
Yeah. on the boat?
Liberace.
Oh, Liberace.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember what it's called. It was like
Behind the kid.
Yeah, you can do that.
Liberace movie. Hold on, I just want to get it right. Yeah, it was called Behind the Candelabra.
Nice.
Okay. And
you watch weird ass movies, Jen. I gotta say, like,
Yeah, interesting taste.
you should just watch normal movies like normal people.
well, it had Michael Douglas and Matt Damon, so it's gonna be kind of normal.
Michael Douglas.
Anyway,
Matt Damon.
but I got sick the day of my birthday. Like, I got food poisoning on my birthday.
Oh, that sucks.
And all my friends were, like, pumped to go drink at this bar in Shenzhen. And they were like, are we getting crunk tonight, bro? And I'm like, no, bro. Okay.
No, there's no crunk tonight.
I have food poisoning, bro. So that was really sad.
We're gonna get crunked next.
Have you guys ever had
No.
Have you guys ever had like other surgery that wasn't like your normal surgeries? Like everybody gets their wisdom teeth out, right? And like
Not everyone.
Yeah.
Some people's mouths can accommodate.
Some people are not wise, and they don't have wisdom teeth.
oh shit, they have them. They're not moving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But
two
like,
of
have
mine.
you ever
were
had
very-
like your appendix out or anything?
Never.
No, so one of the kids in my school did, though, in public school. He had to,
Yeah.
like, leave. I think he had to leave class to go get it, like,
Yeah.
removed, like an emergency kind
Yeah,
of thing.
my brother and my cousin both did same type of deal. Yeah. I remember when my brother had his out, and I jumped on him. He was not happy.
No, I got, like, injured a lot as a child, but
Yeah.
no. I've, like, as an adult, I've had to do a lot more, not surgeries, but, like, I have to get ultrasounds all the time. Because I have, like, kidney problems and liver problems and, like, ovarian problems, so...
So have you
I have to
had
go
like
all the
kidney
time.
stones?
No,
No.
but my kidneys have, like,
suck.
scars on them from something. Probably, like,
Not enough
Nanobots?
water. No, I don't know.
no. They think it was, like, an infection from when I was a child.
Yeah.
And I probably couldn't, like, verbalize that there's something wrong.
Nanobots.
Yeah, maybe.
In the chemtrails. Sorry.
But yeah, I get, like, cysts on my ovaries a lot, so I have to
Sure.
check them out. But I don't think, no, I haven't had any surgery.
You haven't had like bone surgery or anything?
No,
From,
Devin
like, your
has.
mom?
She could talk about that specifically.
Yeah. We should have. You know what? When Devin comes on, comes home, we should invite her
Have her
on
on?
the podcast.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we should. Devin, you're on the podcast.
That's a cordial invitation. It's
Yeah.
professional.
No,
too.
she had, like, I can't remember. I'm gonna fuck this up because my memory isn't what it was. But she
Stop
had,
it.
like, ankle surgery, and she had, like, a plate in her ankle,
Yeah.
but on the other side.
Yeah.
And then you could feel the screws.
Yeah.
And she'd let me touch them sometimes,
Yeah.
and I was like, ew.
My ex-girlfriend has that too.
Yeah.
She's got screws in her ankle.
Well, I don't think the screws are there anymore.
She still
I don't
has
know.
them. She has them for life because apparently if you break,
Yeah, if you fuck up your brake, they
yeah,
have to like set it with
and like
stuff.
you can't like mend that at a certain point. Like you just
Yeah.
gotta have a plate there.
I mean, Devin can correct me in the comments, but I don't think that she has the screws there anymore. I think
Yeah.
that they took them out. One of our friends should 100% be getting
A knee
ACL surgery, but
Yeah. He doesn't
they're
want
pretty stubborn and they won't do it.
to. Yeah. Sophie?
I have never had surgery
Never.
that wasn't
Oh,
poison tooth.
let me tell the story of my tonsils.
Okay.
The story of my tonsils. I had my tonsils
Story
out
of my
like just
tonsils.
a few years ago. I was on the wait list for like 3 years.
Oh, jeez.
And then one time I get this phone call and I'm like, they're like, hey, do you want to get your tonsils out
It's
on
time.
this day?
It's
Yeah.
tonsils time.
Tomorrow, no.
And I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Like, yeah, I do.
Hell yeah.
Because I used to get really bad tonsil stones. Do you know what those are?
Are those the white things that are in the back of your throat?
And they smell like ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it like calcium buildup or something?
It's like your food.
Just like
And it's
Yeah.
like calcified food.
I follow.
You can
Hold on,
squeeze
before
them
you
out.
finish your
Yeah.
story. I follow this subreddit called like medical advice,
Yeah.
and people post pictures all the time. And there's a lot of tonsil stone pictures, and they're
Yeah.
pretty satisfying to look
They're
at.
fucking gross.
they
So
sting
my
so bad.
my niece has them right now too. Yeah, you get really bad what's that called?
halitosis.
Halitosis from it.
What's that?
It's where your
Bad
breath
breath.
stinks
Oh.
really bad. It smells like you're rotting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So I used to get that all the time, and Sophie would like not kiss me, and I'm like, this
mean-
I gotta get this fucking handled. So
Yeah.
so I eventually got my tonsils out, thank God, and I don't have that issue anymore. But when I had the surgery, when they cut it out, they
They like burn it out.
yeah, well they cauterize after,
Yeah.
right?
Shit.
Because you can bleed out from
They
your
get the
tonsils,
flame.
I guess,
And
right?
you go, ah.
And I was working security at Queens when I had this done, and I remember like I looked in the mirror at it, and it looked like, you know, your uvula that hangs down.
Yeah, I've got
right?
2.
Yeah. Well, it looked like I had 2, and I was like, uh-oh, something happened here. But I guess what it was like blood and like cauterization. It made this weird little nub,
Ugh.
right? And it kept getting like bigger and grosser looking. And at one point, I opened my mouth really wide in the mirror, and it fucking popped and shot blood out of my mouth into the mirror.
I don't know what I would have done.
It was crazy, and I was like, uh-oh.
Like, ah.
And the doctor was like, if you start bleeding, come back. You
Yeah.
have to, because you might not stop.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out. I was like, oh no, oh no. But I
Yeah.
guess it was just like a pocket of blood that was like healed behind the pocket.
Yeah.
So it just squirted out everywhere. It was so
That's
fucking
disgusting.
gross.
I guess I don't have 2. I have one that's like split in half. Do you want to see it?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, see. Oh god! That's crazy! That's crazy!
That is weird, yeah.
Jen has 2 uvulas and she's an alien.
Yeah.
This week in Alien News.
This week in Alien News, I have
Jen Murray.
2. I have 2 uvulas.
So yeah, that was my my tonsil story. It sucked. Oh, and the pain. Oh my god.
And
The pain! The pain!
Oh, and my mom bought me, bless her, she bought me like 40 fucking things of like pudding, but
It was actually 100.
the dairy in the pudding really fucking stung.
Oh!
So I couldn't eat all this pudding, and it just sat in my cupboard for forever.
It's disgusting.
And then I tried to go give it away to this, like on campus, there was like this food bank place that you could take food, and they
We
wouldn't
don't
take it from
want
me.
it.
And then it just expired, and I had to throw it all away.
No, I put it in that Loblaws box.
Did you? Well, okay. I guess Sophie gave it to a food bank. I thought it expired, and we got rid of it.
I think maybe it was expired, but we've talked about expiry dates and how they're not
Yeah.
They're not real.
technically real.
Oh, pudding isn't gonna go bad.
Yeah.
So
It's pudding.
yeah.
Pudding.
But the pain though was crazy. I would take getting my wisdom teeth out again over that. I would take breaking a bone over that pain, because it's like in your head, right? Like it feels like it's in your brain. This pain, it fucking sucked. No wonder they do it as for children over. Like,
Did you
when
get
they're
your
adults.
stomach surgery again over that?
No, because I couldn't open doors for like a few months. Like I couldn't open a door for myself.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because it's all your abdomen,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you can't like grab something and pull. Like it doesn't work like that if it's cut in half.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I had to be like in a chair too for a bit.
Oh,
I couldn't stand up.
Did you ever have those? I'm out of stuff, but did you ever have people in high school that got like minorly injured
And then
in
they
sport,
fucking
and then they
milk it.
milked the shit out of
They
them?
get one
Like,
of
my
those knee
crutches,
braces.
I need my crutches.
Yeah.
Like,
Or that big old boot. And like,
yeah.
Yeah. There was all kinds of people like that.
I don't have a friend in particular or anything. I just remember a lot of people doing that shit.
Yeah.
I was always the opposite of that. One time I legitimately broke my ankle, and then it was at the beginning of summer,
Yeah.
and I went a few weeks with the cast, and then I was like, fuck it, and I just hacksawed it off.
Friggin'
and
Tom
just-
Horton broke his elbow when we were in, I don't know, I think we lived on Johnson Street, and he cut off his cast
Yeah,
like
I
every
cut
other
my-
day.
I cut off my cast, and
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can't do this, and I just
Yeah.
I guess I kind of babied it, but like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have, and like now I get like ankle pains. So.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You didn't talk about all your ankle stuff, Jen.
Well, it's not really a sickness.
Just spraining
I
ankles.
guess it is.
I'm just like really injury prone. That's all.
Yeah, I guess clumsiness isn't a sickness.
I've had like I guess I have had it's not surgery, but I've had 2 biopsies
Yeah.
where like a piece of my skin was cut off of me and I had to get stitches and
Yeah.
everything.
I've had that in my stomach and stuff.
Look at this scar. Like that's from a biopsy.
Jesus.
Like, she
Did they get
hacked me.
infected?
No, She just hacked me. Yeah.
Shit.
That's all. Neither of them were cancerous, so that's good. But the one on my side, like, you can't even really see it. But this one is just like, she fucking hacked me. She hacked me, bro.
So, do you mean my stomach surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd
wait.
rather get. I thought Sophie meant the tumor surgery.
No, I meant when you got your stomach fixed.
Yeah, I'd rather have that than the tonsils again.
Okay, I was wondering what you were talking about. You had to be in a chair. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Did I miss something?
Yeah, no. My actual stomach's hurt. It's called neofundoplication. Yeah, I'd rather that than tonsils again. Look it up too. That neofundoplication. That's how serious I am about not having my tonsils out again. I'm trying to think of something else. I was born with holes in my heart, but I guess that's fairly common.
It's pretty common, yeah, and then mostly they close up. Some people they don't.
Oh, and I used to seizure. I don't know if you knew that, Jen, but I used to seizure as a child, like daily.
Oh.
But they were like petite malls, so they weren't like, I wasn't like vibrating in a chair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'd like just not be here
Yeah.
for a few minutes.
One of the people I went to high school with, he was epileptic, and he had a seizure in our like MSIP class. MSIP was like a homework period.
Yeah.
And he like flew out of his chair and like started seizing on the floor.
Shit.
And because he wasn't very popular, a bunch of people just started laughing at him.
That's crazy.
And I was like, he could die.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
That's nuts.
Yeah, and the poor teacher like didn't know what to do. They're like, and I was like, you kind of just have to like let him do it.
Just make
and
sure
call
he doesn't
somebody.
like hit his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine. I just grew out of mine. The last one I had, I was like 15 or 16. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, I think it's time, fam.
It's time for. Am I the asshole?
I'm not going to read you guys the title because I just want you guys to like experience it in real time.
Oh, I like this. Yeah.
So I'll say, am I the asshole? For
We're currently not speaking because of this issue since I find it gross and my boyfriend can't see my problem with it. I do most of the cooking in our relationship, which I'm fine with. However, occasionally my boyfriend will want to do some cooking together or do some baking. We do a lot of activities together, especially now that we're both home a lot more. The one thing I cannot stand is a habit he has when it comes to food. If my boyfriend thinks something is too dry or needs a better consistency, he will use his own spit and put it into the food. For example, the other day we were icing homemade cookies and I caught him thinning out the icing mixture by spitting inside the bowl and mixing it in.
what the fuck?
This has been an issue for some time, so he tries to hide it whenever he does it from me. But every time I catch him, I just find it gross. His reply is to shrug and tell me that I get more of his saliva in my mouth when we kiss anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal and makes literally no difference. I've pleaded with him to use water, but he says that the texture isn't the same and has pointed out that if I can't tell the texture is different, surely it doesn't matter that it's not water anyway. I know that in a way he's right, and it's not like I complain about his spit when we make out, but something about it being mixed with food just grosses me out. Am I the asshole for not wanting my boyfriend to spit in our food when we cook together?
Absolutely not. That boyfriend
That's
is
disgusting.
Literally fucking crazy.
Like, please don't be real.
Is he like a serial killer? Like, that's fucked. There's so many issues with that. And when she says, "No, I know he's kind of right," I'm like, no, he's not.
She's just saying that because he read it over.
Probably.
Maybe,
I just can't believe that this is a real...
Why are people such trash? Like, just don't spit in your food.
That's
Like,
fucking crazy. I can't even believe that's real. Like, that is crazy.
this icing needs to be thinned out.
That's fucked up, dude.
And like, think of the times, like, I bet there's been a time where he's made like cupcakes or a cake or something for someone else who wasn't her, and he spit in the icing.
Oh no.
Like
So somebody in the comments pointed out, or they asked for more info. They said, this is not about spitting in your food. This is a control technique that he is using in his own way to control you. And it says, my control over her is so overwhelming, she will agree to eat my spit. Do you see it as a control issue or as a adding moisture to foods that you cook issue? And then the OP replied, I hadn't made that connection before, but he is into being a dom and in control in the bedroom, although I don't know why there would be an overlap.
Why wouldn't there?
Why wouldn't there be? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's some weird, sick thing. Like, yeah, she's gonna eat my spit.
And so then somebody says, I did not think this story could be more alarming, but here we have it. If you think hard, I think you will start to see other ways your boyfriend likes to assert control and humiliate you. He sounds like semen shower guy.
Semen shower guy.
Should I click?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have to.
Oh boy. Okay. I can do this one quick. So it's connected in a way of non-consensual fluids. Ever since we've been together, my husband, 34 male, has been masturbating in the shower and lying to me about it. I don't care that he looks at porn or masturbates, but he's got a gross habit. He does it in a dry shower, leaves the evidence splattered vaguely in the direction of the drain, and then entirely denies it.
That's not my semen.
When I dragged him in there and literally pointed it out, he said he doesn't know what it is and guesses it's just shampoo or something. I confronted him about this countless times because I think it's revolting, and I had to scrub it out, I had to scrub out the dried semen in the tub when I wanted to take a bath. When we moved somewhere with 2 bathrooms, I told him that he needed to limit his activities to the spare bathroom and leave the main bath to me. He still vehemently denied that was happening at all, and he told me to stop demanding reports on what he does in the bathroom and trying to dictate how he masturbates. Ultimately, he agreed to let me have a bathroom to myself as long as I promised to stop harassing him about it. He started showering in the spare bathroom as well, so the semen got mostly rinsed away on its own, and the fight was solved. Fast forward a year. We've had a kid and entirely stopped having sex. His decision, not mine. I think he's not attracted to my post-baby body and would rather look at porn, so he's beating off a lot. At some point, he also started showering in my bathroom, so the semen just sits in the tub. The bathrooms are my chore, but I refuse to scrub his nasty tub. Now, the spare room became the nursery, so the nasty bathroom is attached to our baby's room. Oh my god. I want to nip this in the bud before we start potty training, because my kid shouldn't have to be subjected to that. I've been complaining to him about the musty smell in there for weeks, hoping he'd just clean it up, but he didn't get the hint. I pulled back the shower curtain today, and the drain is approaching pony jar status.
What the fuck is pony jar?
I don't know. I don't think I want to know. Sophie, look that up. Would I be the asshole if I insisted that he stop masturbating in the shower, even though I promised to never mention it again? And they have an edit. Putting this in the main post so I don't have to keep replying to the same thing. I don't clean his tub anymore, and I haven't for many months. Once I was sure it was semen, I stopped. I also don't see it unless I go in there and pull back the shower curtain, but I can smell it if I open the bathroom door. He will clean the tub if I ask, but I stopped asking him to clean it about 2 months ago to see what would happen.
What is this called? What was it called? Pony bar?
Pony jar?
Oh, pony jar. I'm like, pony bar.
Pony
Can't find it. Pony jar project. Ew. Ew. Ew! I wish I hadn't looked that up.
What is it? What is
Pony cum jar project.
Oh!
It's where you like
Let me
collect
see.
all of your cum in a jar.
I have to tell you this. I had a friend who did that, but there was no pony in the jar. So pony jars, if you don't want to look it up, you put a My Little Pony in a jar.
I'm still in shock.
And you fill the jar full of jizz. Thus submerging the My Little Pony figure. So I had a friend in high school who his girlfriend would give him BJ's and then spit it into a 2-liter Coke bottle, and they filled the bottle.
Oh my god. That's
Well,
so much.
But I think obviously she had to stop spitting it in there, because like who wants to put their mouth up to that after it's like gotten all gross.
Okay, we don't have to talk about that anymore.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Anyway, that guy is definitely an asshole. He's a weird, like, controlling... That's definitely a weird controlling thing, but it's also like, you know how they talk about, like, the Freud stages and how when people get stuck in these stages, they have weird fixations with stuff. Like I don't necessarily think that stuff is real because Freud has been criticized for a lot of stuff, but like that strikes me as like one of those things, right? Like some weird like, and why are you jacking off in your shower without the shower being on? I just don't understand.
To wash
like that's
your
creepy
little...
and weird and it's dirty, right? Like
that's absolutely disgusting.
So fucking weird.
I just Anyway,
just turn the shower on.
Yeah,
it would be such a non-problem.
Yeah, no, I think what he's doing is more about like
I'm gonna make my wife
clean up my
dry
cum. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure is, boy.
Obviously, both scenarios are assholes.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. The spit one is fucked up. That one is fucked up.
Don't have babies with these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if somebody's giving you like a smorgasbord of red flags, don't marry them.
Recognize the red flag.
Don't just run. Run for your life.
Yeah.
But so that's jibber jabbing for today. I hope you had fun and didn't click away. Because we did talk about some gross shit this episode.
Yeah.
Next episode won't be gross because we're going to talk about toys.
Toys, not sex toys, regular toys.
Just regular toys. Yeah. I like toy nostalgia and stuff. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.